Hey, what is up you guys? Welcome to the channel and to this video. My name is Michelle and today we're going to be reviewing The Killer Kingdom by Alexander Christo. I heard of this book. Well, actually I didn't hear of this book. I saw this book on Bookstagram. Everyone posted about it and raved and said it was so good. It was so good. 5 stars, 4 stars. All the stars above 3.5. Just had a really good things to say about this book. So I am a fantasy hoarder, so I was not opposed to the idea of a mermaid fantasy tale. So Alexander Christo is not an author I've heard of before, hence I've never read any of her previous work. I am impressed. I am hooked. Immediately I was astonished. I had no skepticism going into this, but after reading the back page, I knew immediately that this was gonna be a retelling of The Little Mermaid. And yes, I'm talking about the Disney animation that I'm sure many people who live on planet Earth have watched and grew up with all the other Disney princesses. But this is that story on steroids, which I'm not mad at. I'm not mad about that at all. I like the adult, fresh take on a childhood fantasy that is not in any way realistic. I'm not saying this is any realistic either, but there's a lot more realism in the characters because there are things about them that you can relate to. I like how the idea of sea creatures were completely transformed because I grew up knowing mermaids are the pretty looking people, you know, half human, half fish, but that's not the case at all. The merfolk in the story is almost just all fish, not human in any way or form. They are not fair players, they are mean. Not that sirens are any nice either, whereas sirens are what we know as mermaids. They're half human, half fish, beautiful voice, and as what we know of sirens, they lure people in with their voice and they sing them to their death. Going to Lyra, who is the blood heir to the throne of the Sea Kingdom, the daughter of the Sea Queen herself. She is a siren known as the Princess Bane. I don't want to give too much about the plot. Just like The Little Mermaid, Lyra was turned into a human by her mom, but as a punishment, in contrast of Ariel being turned human because she wants to be human. That's a big difference. So as her punishment, she was turned into a human. Her siren singing voice was stripped away from her. So she's not mute, but she just can't sing like a siren anymore. So she just talks like us mundane human being. Goal here is that she started off this journey of wanting to redeem herself in front of her mother. But overthrowing her mom becoming her goal now, she teams up with Elien. Elien wants the stone in order to kill the Sea Queen and all the legions of sirens. The sarcasm and dark humor of both characters, Elien and Lyra, throughout the entire book, I just love them so much. I love how they communicate with each other. They don't need to waste a lot of words to put their message across. They know enough of the other person's intention, the trust that they've built along the journey. It wasn't like some cliche romance, and it wasn't a long slow burn either. It was a good balance of slow burn, but then also like they both admit that it like, oh, that saves readers so much time when the characters, they admit to each other that they like each other, because there are so many stories and films too, like neither one of them wants to admit the fact, not like admit it to themselves, admit it to the other person, and then there's a whole long avoiding talking to each other, lying to the other person, and there's just an unnecessary stir between the two because neither of them wants to admit that they just like each other. Like, why can't that be just a normal thing? So I like that Lyra just goes up to him and be like, just bro, are you gonna kiss me? Done. It was just done. I don't even think I want a sequel to this because I felt like they closed off their journey very well. It wasn't like an unrealistic, hopeful, happily ever after, but it wasn't also like a really sad cliffhanger, something like that, but it was just, it hit the right spot. I give this a 4 out of 5. Really good plot, really good characters. I love when characters change their mindsets as the story goes because you can see how different they become. You know what? Enemies the lover trope. That's like one of the best tropes, and if it's written well, like Nina and Matthias well, then I'm happy. Alright, so if you love the whole mermaid, siren, killing trope, you should probably get your hands on this because it's a decent read. It's not a long, tedious read either. Very quick read. If you're into The Little Mermaid, I think you would most likely like this book. Right after I finished reading this, I watched The Little Mermaid and I thought to myself, how the hell did I grew up fantasizing about this? There is in no way that it made sense for a mermaid to fall in love with a prince without having a proper conversation with him yet. You've only known the guy, what, a few days or a week, and you want to get married to him? Like, that made no sense. And with that, thank you guys so much for watching and sticking until the end of this video. I hope you guys are all having a great day or night whenever you're watching this. I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.